Hello there, welcome back to another video talking Geeky over me. As you can see on the screen, I took a screenshot of the box office of Mario from Box Office Mojo as it stands from the time of recording, which is Tuesday, but this is taken for up to Monday. Over $420 million worldwide. Nintendo and Illumination, Universal Studios is rolling in the bucks, in the dollars. It's not about if it's going to make a billion. We all know it's going to make a billion. It just depends on how much above that. And will it be the biggest animation of all time? It could well be. I mean, I won't be surprised now. With this much money and this much goodwill, I'll say, families are flocking in. Video games adaptations are kind of like the big thing. Hopefully, Hollywood studios will definitely put more respect into video game production now after this. I put my fanboy hat on now because there's a lot of talk of NCU, Nintendo Cinematic Universe, right? So you see now, a couple years ago, where we had Detective Pikachu Pokemon. I know it's more of a Pokemon company, but a lot of people associate Pokemon with Nintendo. It has always been on Nintendo consoles, and Nintendo has, I think, 10%, 15% of stakes in that company as well. So to me, I see that as a Nintendo franchise. Of course, Super Mario, that's still rocking the bucks, and like I said, it's going to make $1 billion. Now, what is next? I think I'm going to put my Nintendo fanboy hat on. Not just Nintendo fanboy, but as a gaming fan. What do I want to see from Nintendo, of course? Here's 6 of the franchises that I would love to see, and I think they would, from a not just a fanboy point of view. I mean, there's so many franchises that I love Nintendo would do, right? But on a big screen, and thinking about on a kind of a movie perspective, what I imagine could look amazing on a big screen, IMAX and so on. Zelda. Everybody's been talking about, is that next? I mean, speculations on a Zelda movie. But with the Zelda movie, I actually want it not to be animated by Illumination. I want it to be animated by Studio Ghibli. And keep it very similar in art style to the current Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom kind of art style. Hopefully, probably trying to get Miyazaki to direct it. If anybody's seen Princess Mononoke, I hope I pronounced that right, I wanted something like that. A 2-hour-long, really epic journey and so on. Make it a trilogy. That'd be amazing. With that kind of animation. I think the only kind of problem or obstacle they probably find with the Zelda game is probably who's going to voice Link. As we all know, Link has never spoken. I suppose Mario never has really spoken. All Mario always said was "Mamma Mia" and a few other things like that. But with Link, he's never said a word. He just had like noise, like that kind of noises, right? So finding the right cast for Link will be a tough one. And I kind of feel sorry for the person who's going to do it. It's kind of hit or miss. And the question is after that is, do they cast someone like an anime voice actor, or do they cast like a celebrity like a Chris Pratt, someone famous for the Link voice? So definitely want to see that in Studio Ghibli style animation. And then the next big one, like I said, a big fan of Metroid. Metroid, I can see that happening because can you imagine? And I don't mind having Illumination directing that as well. But give it like a PG-13 in the UK, we call it rated 12, more for the older audience. Imagine the sci-fi kind of atmosphere with that kind of almost isolated. Again, Samus, you don't really hear her speak another. Do they cast just a regular anime voice actor, or do they cast someone famous? Same thing. So I think Metroid, if they do it right, kind of make it more adult with all that amazing technology currently, that could be a great one. I think another one, Kirby, well, of course, Kirby, they can use probably the same studio he animated Mario. keep that really fluffy, round, colorful. I think that if you keep it in the same kind of style as Mario, you got the kind of audience already. The kids make it a PG. The current audience is watching Mario will flock to Kirby. Donkey Kong, we all know that Donkey Kong played a big part in the Mario movie. Seth Rogen, I didn't really mind his voice too much. I think that I'm not sure if they do make a Donkey Kong movie, which I suspect they will. Is he gonna, carry on voicing Donkey Kong? I know there's a lot of people who didn't like Seth Rogen. I felt, like I said, he wasn't bad, but me personally, I probably recast someone else who, gives it much more, power to it. And then you got F-Zero and Star Fox, two amazing sci-fi kind of animation. Imagine F-Zero. Can you imagine just the driving scenes, especially if they have like a big, massive ending, like a 30 minutes ending. Imagine all that swirling around, watching IMAX or 3D. That will blow your mind. They probably have a caution outside the cinema, just in case you might just, go forensic if you've got like an epilepsy. I can imagine the special effects using F-Zero. And then Star Fox. If they make it right, they can make that kind of like, I know it sounds maybe a bit overboard, but they can make it like their Star Wars, the universe around that, right? With all that sci-fi element, planets to planets, to characters. That would be just kind of in between the audience of like the Metroid and the Marios. So you have kind of cutesy animals, but at the same time, the backdrop will have all these amazing special effects, sci-fi, worlds to worlds, kind of like almost like a kid's version of Nintendo's version of the Star Wars universe in Star Fox, right? And remember, the Nintendo Cinematic Universe doesn't really have to be just in the big screen. Streaming is massive today. TV, a lot of money is made from the TV streaming, so they can do their cinematic universe of like the smaller projects, or maybe stories that needed more than just 2 hours. Maybe like 7, 8, 9, 10 hours to tell a story. And here's some of my picks that could make amazing TV shows. I know some of you are thinking I put Bayonetta there, right? I know there was an anime movie on that, and it wasn't that good. It's not that good. But this is a good chance to kind of redo one. I think a TV show would be great in the Japanese animation style. Same goes with Astral Chain. That is practically an anime game. So those two anime style. I think the top 4, Fire Emblem and Xenoblade, will be animation style. I think Fire Emblem and Xenoblade will probably have a long, because the story is pretty big. Especially Fire Emblem will have so many characters. So you can make so many TV animation from that. Same as Xenoblade. I would love to see them in anime style. 26 episodes per season or something like that. And then you got Pikmin. Pikmin is, amongst Nintendo fans, yes, Pikmin is pretty known. But in the general public, I don't think many people know Pikmin. I don't think it will be big if it goes to a theater, like a full-on $80 to $100 million budget like Mario. I don't think it will be big. Pikmin will probably work a lot better on TV, like shorts, 5-10 minute shorts. Little music in the background, little noises, no speaking, no talking. I think Pikmin, Miyamoto did a couple of animation shorts. So keep it in the vein of like that, but make it like 10 minutes, for 10 episodes or something like that. Kid Icarus, I would say to the argument that, you could probably make a 2-hour, 90-minute movie of Kid Icarus, but when I was thinking about that, I was thinking Kid Icarus, the Greek legend, you can probably have how he associated with all the mythical stories about Kid Icarus. So, have the Nintendo lore with actually the Greek legends combined, make it into like a 12 episodes, 45 minutes long. So I think that would be good. Wario, See, with the next movie on of Super Mario, I have a feeling they're going to introduce Wario and probably Waluigi and of course Yoshi. So after the sequel comes out and then everybody knows who Wario is, just like the game, they can make a crazy, hectic kind of 5-10 minute shorts of these kind of stuff that Wario's trying to get up to, just like the game. Little shorts like that. That'd be such fun. Splatoon are throwing in because that's one of the newer franchise by Nintendo and it's rocking in bucks, millions of copies. I think Splatoon 3 sold like 10 million in like less than a month or something like that. So, Splatoon 2 and 3 are easily 10, 15 million copy sellers. So Splatoon's got some big fans, especially in Japan as well. The multiplayer seems pretty big over there now. And I can see that as a TV special or TV show, from all these different, what is it? They have these kind of like a salmon run. They can have like a TV show about that, salmon run episodes, and you can have episodes of the singers dancing here and there. So I think that'd be work. That's a great TV show. But ultimately, just like the Marvel universe, and of course what DC is trying to do, combined all the heroes like an Avenger movie. Would it work? Me personally, I would like to see Nintendo focus on their IPs as a separate movie. Of course, you have the kind of cross-reference. If they do make a Donkey Kong, easily they can reference. Donkey Kong in his movie can reference Mario because, of course, it was in the same movie. If they make, say, a Wario, they can easily cross-reference. Mario has he's a copycat, for example. So some of those movies can reference each other, but I don't see them referencing, say, an F-Zero to Mario or Samus to Mario, or even Zelda, Legend of Zelda to Mario, because it's a whole different world. So I would like them to focus on individual projects first. Establish the characters. I mean, the characters already established, of course, but establish the universe. And who knows, maybe, there's some genius writer out there somehow sprinkle a little little threads that threads all the movies together, and then boom, Super Mario Brothers Ultimate, where all of them do a showdown, big massive movie. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see it, but if they don't do it, that's cool with me. Can you imagine having a Super Mario Bros, a Super Smash Bros Ultimate game that just with all the characters somehow they're linked together, somehow they're kind of joined in this universe, almost like if anybody read the Marvel 1980s comic of Secret Wars, anybody know the Secret Wars comic story where the Beyonder took a bunch of heroes, a bunch of villains in this kind of like world that the Beyonder created and pipped the heroes versus the villains together. Just like Beyonder's experiment, something like that. But so it's like the hand, that the Nintendo's version of Beyond it just grabs all these heroes and all these characters from Nintendo, throws them in this world and just experiment on them, and then the only way they survive is to fight each other or something like that. I'm just throwing ideas out there. Anyway, let me know what you think about this whole idea of a Nintendo Cinematic Universe, and what would you like to see from them. Anyway, thank you for staying to the end, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're in the world, and please stay safe. Goodbye.